Name change.
Hello and welcome to a video that is of special personal interest to me because it relates to a number of games that I've emulated over the years. A long time ago I emulated a game called Little Robin from TCH, and I didn't do a very good job of it at first because I didn't realise it had a TMS processor for the video, and I tried to emulate all that as if it was a sprite and time-lapse system, and it ran quite badly. And then we got a game called Mega Phoenix from Dynamic and Inda, which I noticed had the same test mode, and that PCB very clearly had a TMS processor. So at the time I improved the Little Robin emulation by basically making it use the same video device as the Mega Phoenix that I just emulated. But I also wondered why this TCH board was so similar to the Inda board, but at the same time so different. It had a significantly reduced sound system, no Z80 or anything like that. And we did a bit of digging and discovered that, yes, Little Robin did start life as a game on the Inda board, the one powering Mega Phoenix. And until now, there'd been no trace of that version. But recently, two boards at the same time, remarkably enough, did show up with a game called Yo-Yo Spell on. And that game is what I'm going to have a look at today. Well, first of all, though, I'm going to fire up Little Robin just to show what I'm talking about. So this was Little Robin, one I emulated quite a long time ago. And it's basically a Snow Brothers knockoff. It plays exactly like Snow Brothers. We'll just coin it. See, 1994 by TCH. So you get your little map, and yeah. So the 68K is driving all the sound on this. So it's one processor and one main processor and a video processor with TMS. You can see it plays like Snow Brothers. You cover the enemies with the slime stuff, and then you push the balls around, and they take out the enemies in the process. It's kind of a shameless knockoff, but quite enjoy it. So it's got all your standard Snow Brothers stuff. Power-ups and power-ups. I will try to show you one if I get to them. There we go, there's a red one. It's did that one increase damage? I don't know. Anyway, you get the idea. It's a confident Snow Brothers code. So a different what we have there. I'm not going to spend too long on this, because the code is obviously going to be the new dump Yo-Yo Spell. Let's have a look. See, this is the test mode I was talking about. It looks like this. And if we then fire up Mega Phoenix, which is another I emulated. Quick look at this. It's been emulated for a while now. It also appeared on the home platforms. An unlicensed video, I should add. But you see, that has this very same test mode, and that's how I realised there must be a connection. And that is how we now come to a Yo-Yo Spell. Yo-Yo Spell being the new dump. Now this is clearly a prototype, and much earlier. I mean, this says 1992. Little Robin was 1994. So this got shelved for a whole 2 years. You can immediately see that both the title difference. The font is completely different here, and the curtain effect here instead of the happy faces. But maybe most interestingly is the gameplay is really different. At this point, the game was not a Snow Brothers ripoff. A bit slow down here. I don't think it's well optimized. So at your map screen. Now, there doesn't appear to be any music. You do get some music if you don't move, but it's just a sort of drum beat like this. So I don't know if that's an emulation problem, or just because it's a prototype, because the sound system implementation is a bit hacky, but I don't think there's anything that would cause it to do this. And that drum beat is just one sample in the one long sample. But anyway, you can see all you do here is you hit the enemies with your yo-yo, and they just, new ones keep spawning. Do that fight there. It actually reminds me more of the Brick Rick games that I showed on stream a while ago, the recent Amstrad and Spectrum games. So they have enemies that spawn in, like this, limiting per stage. There you go, you see, I've cleared the enemies. Now, the graphics are similar, although obviously the background thing here is different already. Yeah, and this seems to try and show you quite a lot of elements early on, and you've got these collapsing platforms, which again suggests they're experimenting. Now, power up, you see, the power-up icons are the same, and the red one here is giving me a more powerful, fiery yo-yo. But the game is a lot more basic. Now, you find other power-ups, which do things like extending range and speed. Yeah, and that skull appears if you're taking too long, so that can't be killed. You have to sort of avoid that. Don't really love that. The same thing. These birds still give you the power-ups, like in Little Robin. But it's strange that the game went from this to just a complete rip-off of Snow Brothers. I like the way the pipe explodes there when you're done with the enemies. So let's play this through a little bit. I don't know how many stages there are in this version. I do know there's at least 2 worlds. So, I'm going to sneeze. So it does seem a bit empty without the concept, so I kind of hope it is an emulation bug, but I don't think it's going to be. Everything's very well animated, so there's a lot of work that's put into the sprites in this, you can tell. So I'm glad the project did eventually see the light of day as Little Robin. It would have been a shame if this had gone to waste entirely, I think. Let's get you. So, yeah, hopping around. It controls fairly well. It feels a little stiffer than Little Robin. Could just be me though. Understand that. There's no laugh effect when you die either, and I think there is a sample for that. Just make me wonder about the sample. So we've got another power up. This is a bigger but slower one. It's obviously called Yo-Yo Spell because it's attacking with a yo-yo, much like Datory's Spin Master. I don't know why yo-yos are considered a weapon, but there you go. There's your drive again. I mean, I don't think there's any way for it to know there's a channel free or not free, so in terms of missing emulation features, so what's a green palette do? Oh, that's just the invulnerability, but well, makes you flat to power yo-yo. I don't know what the keys do in this one. So there don't seem to be bonus letters implemented or anything like that either. So, definitely early. Should get a boss sooner or later. Not just yet. I'll be having nervous. Quite often in games like this, the first will be shorter, so you get to a boss more quickly, but this seems to be a fairly long world. You have to be quick though, otherwise that score will spawn. The background is always changing. I spent a considerable amount of effort on drawing all these backgrounds and the sprites. It's just a strange the actual title screen graphic is so ugly. So the rest of them, do you think decent sprite work? Little angel there on the eye. I'm assuming the 2-player mode works. I've never not tried that. Probably the most difficult game. Just take my time. It's see little feathers falling down as well from the birds. Attention to detail, even at this early stage in development. Now we've got some spikes, you see. That's what I mean, one of those disintegrating platforms above the spikes. What I mean by they're introducing quite a few elements for first world. It makes me think there probably aren't that many worlds in this version. Although, with time we will discover. Maybe somebody will try and do a one credit clear hit. It's worth playing because it's its own game, because it's just so different to the Little Robin game. I was almost tempted to not make it a clone because the game's changed so much during development. But it will be marked as a clone in the next main version. Another level, with more spikes. Yeah. I don't know why the ghosts look like they're pregnant, but I guess you can have pregnant ghosts. So let's just keep pushing away at these. Yep. Boss time. No, we're not at the boss yet, so I think maybe there were heating issues here. It just feels like I'm playing a lot of stages in this world. And personally, I would have thought I'd be at the boss by now, but that is not the case. I'll be interested in knowing if the other board that turned up has got the exact same revision on. Because if they were development boards, there's a fair chance they could be different. Again, they might go through this if they were put out for location tests together. Here we go, the boss. Now there's quite a bit of slowdown here, and I don't think the same boss has slowdown in Little Robin. So again, this is probably before the code was really optimised. I just don't remember having slowdown. It's been a long time since I played much of Little Robin. Yes, I'm doing. I'm not really taking care when playing this, which is why I'm struggling. Sure, if I was to be a little more strategic rather than just trying to get all these hits and melt into goo. We get key. 10,000 points. Struggling to bring up the map. Okay, here we go. So there is a second world. So, obvious change in style. We're very weak in green now. Seems to be the same enemies. Mostly. It's not as addictive as Little Robin, because Little Robin does have that Snow Brothers chaining of kills mechanic, and this is really just chasing down the enemies and throwing the at them. I can see why they changed it up, because a lot of these graphics would be wasted on this type of game, really, without a deeper scoring mechanic. I think people would have remembered it even if it had been released in the state, but just maybe not as fondly, because I don't know. Little Robin's a pretty good game, and people who did play it back in the day seem to remember it and speak well of it. It's a strange 2-year gap between this and say Little Robin, so it was on the shelf for a while until TT8 picked it up. I mentioned the dumping credits in the description below, because I'm not quite sure who wants to be credited now at the moment, so I'll just make sure that's in the description instead. moving platform enemies that are firing at me. It's when I get the key that explodes. Yeah. So the key is sort of the end of level trigger, it would seem. Not an obvious item to have as an end of level trigger. That's what it is. Once you get the key, it seems like the enemy stops spawning. Look at these nice leafy backgrounds. So. Anyway, I believe we have seen that. This, I think, has the same service mode. So, does it have a service mode? There we go. Yeah. So again, the service mode that was the thing that made me realise there must be a connection in the first place. But I think that's about it for now. So that's Yo-Yo Spell, the very early version of Little Robin, and it will be supporting the end of January main release. It was not submitted in time for the release yesterday, which, well, I think it was yeah, I think the release yesterday was already out by the time that was submitted, so absolutely no chance of it being in that release, but it will be in the January release. If you like Little Robin on single-screen platform games, I'd say check it out. It does feel a little unfinished, and that missing music, we need to find out if the PCB does that. And if it doesn't have missing music, we'll have to work out how to get the music working in main, but I think it's probably just going to have missing music, to be honest. So anyway, thank you for watching the video, and take care, and I may even have a second video out shortly today.